love Toowoomba. We try and get up here as much as we can. It's been tough at the moment, no racing at home.
Oh yeah, it's a great track, great people.
Toowoomba's always good. Yeah, I like coming here. It's a good track.
Yeah, I love Toowoomba. It's one of my favourite tracks.
So it is a Saturday morning and we are off to another speedway, but before we get to the speedway that we're actually going racing at tonight, we are at this one, Eastern Creek Speedway, which is a lot closer to home for us. We are from I live about 15 minutes away from here, and unfortunately the place is closed right now because there's no one to operate the track. But let's not get into that. If you want to learn more about it, definitely check out our other videos. But what that means is not only for fans and people like myself having to go somewhere else, that also means that drivers and teams have to go somewhere else. There's a bunch of New South Wales based drivers and teams that head to other speedways, so that's exactly what we're going to do as well. A quick geography lesson. If you look at the map, we are here in the state of New South Wales. The capital of the state is Sydney, and I live about an hour's drive west of the CBD. We are currently here at Eastern Creek Speedway, which doesn't have an operator. It replaced Valvoline Raceway, which was shut down just a few years ago. So where is the next closest track? Well, not very close. To put it into perspective, Australia's landmass is very similar to that of the USA, but when it comes to dirt tracks, Australia has a lot fewer that are suitable to regularly host 410 sprint cars. So if teams want to race, they can either travel 9 hours south to a track called Avalon Raceway, or they come here to my favorite track, Hi-Tec Oils Toowoomba Speedway. Of the 48 410 sprint cars nominated to race on Saturday night, 11 of them made the trip from New South Wales. They include Alex Orr, Brendan Scorgi, Jackson Delamont, Jesse Addard, Kobe Wright, Kyle Mock, Lachlan Cornt, Mick Sauer, Michael Stewart, and in my opinion, the best looking car in the pits, the N56 of Mick Sauer. Oh yeah, and the bloke we followed all night, Daniel Sayre and his N16 Aussie Racing team. After a freshened engine was delivered and stowed away, it was time to get into race mode. We're out on the track now. Daniel's just pushing out. Just behind us, there he is. The car looks beautiful, doesn't it? I love the green and the black. Looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight. It's up first is hot laps and qualifying. Let's see how he goes.
Jesse Addard in the New South Wales 55, Mick Sauer the New South Wales 56, Lachlan Corn New South Wales number 9, and Daniel Sayre in the New South Wales 16, and Jackson Delamont in the New South Wales 40 away. Hey, are we at Parramatta right now? Sayre second quick. Salah, Sayre, Delamont.
How'd you go in qualifying?
Not too bad, man. It was sort of first group out, so it's a little bit slimy, a little bit greasy still. I think it cleaned off a bit after that, so we just scraped in the invert, so we've got front row starting to heat. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can make the most of that.
And obviously there's no racing back home in Sydney. Do you like coming here?
I love Toowoomba always. You know, we try and get up here as much as we can. It's been tough at the moment, no racing at home. We've been sort of up and down the road. trying to find some races to do. So yeah, I mean, I'm just very grateful to my team for allowing me to do this and putting in the effort they do.
You got a busy schedule between, I think, a few states.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were in Warrnambool last week, and I think we're sort of tossing up between Warrnambool or Lismore next week, and then we've got a local race in Toba in New South Wales if it's local. So you know, and then we'll just try and chase some more races down south and just pack in as much as we can.
What's the plan over the busy period over December, January?
Yeah, I think for the plan so far is we'll try and get up here for the Red Hot Summer Shootout, and then we'll pretty well just turn around and head straight down south. Try and do that race they announced down in Avalon, and then we'll do, you know, Avalon, Mount Gambier Classic and the title, everything down there.
Qualifying within the tail of the 18-car invert meant that Daniel would start on the front row of the final heat, Heat 3. The track still had plenty of speed, so he had hoped that there would still be limited passing, but the track was a little rougher than normal, so he needed to be on his game.
In heat race number 3 at Hi-Tec Oils Toowoomba Speedway. Sayre upstairs, goes around the outside of Farrell. Forget your race leader, Daniel Sayre. He has checked out in a big way. Daniel Sayre will come across and get the checkered flag of the wide open clothing. Number 16 machine. Daniel, welcome to Hi-Tec Oils Toowoomba Speedway. Great to have you here and not bad to take away a heat race win.
Yeah, thanks mate. It's always good to be back up here. Love coming to this joint. So pretty average qualifying. We had to win that heat. We've got a bit of work to do on this car, but hopefully we can get it dialed in.
Heat races are done. Daniel did an incredible job to win that heat race from the front. He looked very fast, but he also had some smoke coming out. Let's go speak to him and hear what happened.
It's good to get a heat win. I mean, we really needed that to get some points to lock into something a bit further up tonight. So yeah.
What's the plan from here on in? You're in one of the dashes?
Yeah, hopefully in one of the dashes. So pass as many cars as we can in that one. And then, yeah, I mean, about 30 odd laps in a feature race, so there's a lot of time we can try and make something happen.
You had a bunch of smoke coming out in the heat race. Did that concern you? Did you know what it was?
Not really. I think we just had an oil change on it, so it's just probably a little bit of blow-by. Just a bit too much oil or something, I'd say.
What are you going to change for the dash?
We'll probably free up a little bit because we were way too tight then, so just free up a little bit, try and make our car a little bit better, and maybe just work on some shock stuff, and I think we're pretty close.
For a while now, there's been this stereotype that Sydney teams don't travel. I think it's because with Valvoline Raceway, we had the best track in the country in our backyard. But traveling and racing is always a fun combo, but it's also a tough ask. I wanted to hear from some of the other New South Wales-based teams about their thoughts. What do you think of Toowoomba?
Oh, Toowoomba's always good.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a favourite track probably these days.
Yep.
It's always racy. It's always good.
And obviously Sydney's closed, so you got to travel.
Yeah, travelling's making it definitely harder. You know, budget, crew, everything. So you know, we'd planned on doing a lot of travel for this first part anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, we've only got we got next 4 weeks in a row, and then we probably won't do anything till the Classic. So yeah, hopefully it'd be nice to just be able to go to Eastern Creek for the last part of the season, that's for sure.
How come you're here at Toowoomba?
Well, from Sydney, and yeah, it's kind of up in the air at the moment. Eastern Creek doesn't exist. Our closest track from the CBD's 8 hours away in Dubbo, and they've got 2 shows for the whole season. So, you know, we just had to pin it up to Toowoomba if we wanted to do any racing. It's a bit of a shame. We try and travel a bit, but you know, you put a budget in place to go racing for a year, and then you know, you need to travel 10 hours every time you want to go. The budget gets blown out because, you know, diesel, everyone knows isn't cheap, so.
But you do like coming here?
Yeah, I like coming here. It's a good track. It's a shame it's 12 hours from home. You know, we have a brilliant speedway an hour and a half up the road. It looks awesome, but you know, someone's got the head in the sand with that, and it's not going. So fingers crossed we can get our home track back up and going. And you know, we still love to come up here for the premier events, but you know, week to week, it's not possible for us to do it.
Yeah, I love Toowoomba. It's one of my favourite tracks, definitely.
Why do you guys come here?
A few things. Obviously, they get through the night so quick. You can pretty much bank on 9 out of 10 nights the track's going to be really racy, and it's not hard on tyres. It's just yeah, nice easy trip up. It's 10 hours, and yeah, we love it up here. We feel welcome, and yeah, it's really good.
How's your night been so far?
Yeah, really good. We timed in 5th quick overall. We were out in the first group, so we sort of cleaned the track off for everyone else, but we're still happy with that. Move forward in our heat from 5 to 2nd, so we line up 4 in the A dash. So we'll see how we go.
Car looks pretty trick. Is this what you're going to have for the rest of the year? Or?
Yeah, this is what we'll have. We haven't decided what Aaron's going to have, whether it'll be the same or whatnot. But yeah, love the green, bit of something different, and yeah, it looks cool.
Oh yeah, it's a great track, great people. Like, it goes a long way when everywhere you turn here, you know, you get a thanks for coming up, or just friendly staff and volunteers. So it's Barry Waldron sure knows how to create a good atmosphere for a racetrack. You know, he did it at Parramatta, he's done it here. Just hats off to the whole team.
Mid-pack dash, if you can make your way to the front dummy grid, please.
Down to Toba, Queensland Speedway's best Sprint Car Hub Tech Centre.
Thanks very much, Jared. This race is going to be a race of who can make the least amount of mistakes. Now, the track is super fast. How do we know that? Well, Lockie McHugh did an 11.1 in the dash. That's 2/10 quicker than he did in time trials. Now, the track is quite technical. There's a very rough top all the way around here, and there's a very rough bottom as well. Now, what I mean by rough is that makes the car quite tight, and with this slick middle, it also means that the car can be quite loose when you run over it. So it's very difficult to set up the car. Now, there is holes all over the track, and you can see that by the shadows, especially entering, I would say, turn 3. There's a big divot. Let's say it's about here on the racetrack. Now, there's a few different options that drivers can choose to make when entering the corner. With the car being so difficult to set up, the driver needs to really get the most out of the racetrack and make the least amount of mistakes. Now, the entry options are for the cars to either go below it, probably drew this a little bit high. You can go below the holes, you can try and go above it, you can go over it, which I would say is probably the worst option, because all that happens when you run over the holes is that the car wants to push tight. So it's only going to want to push up into the fence. I think that's exactly what happened to Aaron van der Rijden in that B main. Now, the best option that the drivers can make is actually turn down on it. And we saw Lockie McHugh do that in the dash. I think on the last lap, he actually went below it, but I saw him a couple laps actually come higher, so enter quite high on the racetrack, and as he comes to the bumps, turn down on the racetrack. Guess what? When he pushes tight, what's going to happen? He's going to go in the direction he wants to go. If he enters it wrong and goes over it and he's pointed towards the outside of the track, he's going to end up there. So you've got to really try and minimize those mistakes and go over those holes in the right way. All right, it's feature race time here at Hi-Tec Oils Toowoomba Speedway. Dan finished 7th in the dash. That means he'll start out at position number 7 for the feature. I've just finished doing a segment on pay-per-view. Hopefully you guys were tuned in watching that, but could be an interesting feature race. He needs to stay out of the carnage and put together good laps. He's going to need a good start. As I spoke about on pay-per-view, there's a few holes in the track's a bit rough, so really needs to manage them quite well. So interested to see what happens? Let's go check it out.
no.
Alright, we just had a massive stacks on in the feature race. Only, what was it, about 5 laps in. Taylor Prosser turned around and Ryan Newton got involved. Lockie Cornt did a motor. Man, they did some serious damage. They're trying to repair Ryan Newton's car right now. Daniel's over here somewhere. He's just pushed off, so we're going back green. 25 laps to go. He didn't get a great start like we had hoped, but there's plenty of laps to go, so let's see what happens.
I didn't make a very good start. I sort of dropped a few spots, so I had to come back through a few cars, and got to Jackson Delamont and sort of got a good run on him out of 2. Yeah, just went to sort of drive across and slide him in 3, and Kobe Wright was sort of parked there, so he'd hit the fence or spun out or something, so just a bit of a pile up and caused a bit of damage.
The car that bad?
A little bit of chassis damage and just rear end and, you know, all the bolt-on parts.
Yeah. Oh, I like it, man. Thanks for coming. You like coming to Toowoomba though?
I love Toowoomba, you know, always love coming here. We try and get back as soon as we can and try again.